morning, boys and girls. Today we're going to review all the letters that we've learned so far, and then we're going to start working with a new letter this week, okay? So let's start with this one. Do you remember what this letter is? It's the letter A. We have our capital A for Ava and our lowercase a. Remember the A has the A sound, and it also has the A sound, like an apple, an astronaut, an alligator. A is for apple, a. A is for apple, a. And what letter is this one? Yeah, this is the letter J. We have our capital J for Jason and Jesus, and our lowercase j makes the J sound, like JJ and Jesus, and jam and jelly and jar. J is for jam, J. J is for jam, J. And what letter is this one? Do you remember that one? It's the letter T, the capital T, and our lowercase t. The T makes the T sound, like television and toothpaste and teeth and table. T is for television, t. T is for television, t. And what letter is that one? Remember that letter? It's the letter C. We have our capital C and our lowercase c. The letter C makes the sound k, like in cake and candy and cookies and carrots. C is for cake, k. C is for cake, k. And you remember this letter here? Yeah, that's a letter B. We have our capital B for Benjamin and our lowercase b, like in like Benjamin and bus and baby and balloon. B is for bus, b. B is for bus, b. And do you remember this letter? Yeah, there's a letter E. We have our capital E for Evelyn and Esme, and our lowercase e. The E has two sounds. The E sound like an Easter, an eagle, and the S sound like an egg, an elephant, an elevator. E is for egg, eh. E is for egg, eh. And how about this letter? What letter is that? The letter O. We have our capital O and our lowercase O. Remember, the O looks like what shape? A circle. So the O can have the O sound like an ocean, or the A sound like an octopus. We also have at the beginning of owl. O is for octopus, ah. O is for octopus, ah. And you remember that one? That's our letter D, right? We have our capital D and our lowercase d. It makes the D sound, like duck and dog and daddy and dinosaur. D is for duck, D. D is for duck, D. And this letter is the letter F, right? We have our capital F and our lowercase f. The letter F makes the f sound, like fish and feathers and fingers and french fries. F is for fish, F is for fish. And what letter is this one? This is the letter P. We have our capital P and our lowercase p. The letter P, remember, we don't use our voice. It just goes like this. P, like panda and popcorn and puppy. P is for panda, p. P is for panda, p. And how about this letter? Remember that letter? There's the letter I. We have our capital I for Ivana and ignore, and our lowercase I, like an iguana. And it has the I sound like ice skates and ice cream, or the I sound like iguana and Ivana and inside. I for iguana, I. I for iguana, I. And what letter is this one? The letter G. Here's our capital G for God, and our lowercase g makes the G sound, like God and goat and girl and gumdrop. G is for goat, G. G is for goat, G. And what letter is this one? Here's the letter H. We have our capital H, our lowercase h. Again, we don't use our voice, just our breath. Can you make that sound? Like house and heart and happy and hallelujah. H is for house. H is for house. And what letter is this one? L. We have our capital L, and our lowercase l makes the L sound. Lion and ladybug and lollipop. L is for lion, oh, oh, oh. L is for lion, oh, oh, oh. And what about this letter? Remember that one? That's a Q. Remember the Q is like an O with a little tail. And here's our lowercase q. The letter Q makes the qu sound like quilt and queen and quiet. Q is for quilt, qu, qu, qu. Q is for quilt, qu, qu, qu. And what letter is this one? The letter K. Remember the K and the C both make the same sound, the K sound. So we have our capital K and our lowercase k makes the K sound like kite and kitchen and kangaroo. K is for kite, K, K, K. K is for kite, K, K, K. And how about this letter? Remember that one? M. We have our capital M and our lowercase m. The M makes the sound, like mitten and mommy and monkey. M is for mitten, M is for mitten, And how about that letter? Do you remember that one? Right, that's the letter R. We have our capital R and our lowercase r makes the sound, like rope and rhinoceros and run. R is for rope, R is for rope, And how about this letter? Remember that letter? Right, that's the letter N. We have a capital N for Nico and Nicolette, and we have our lowercase n makes the sound, like nest and nose and noisy and necklace. N is for nest, N is for nest, And how about this letter? Remember that one? S. We have our capital S and our lowercase s. S makes the s sound, like sandwich and soup and sneakers and Stanishevsky. S is for sandwich, S is for sandwich, And remember that letter? That's the letter U. This is the letter we were working with last week. We have our capital U and our lowercase u. Remember the U makes the U sound like unicorn, or the sound like in umbrella and under and uncle. U for umbrella, U for umbrella, And this week we're going to start with this letter. Do you know what letter this one is? This is the letter V. Okay, so here we have our capital V, and this is our lowercase v. The letter V makes this sound. Can you make that sound? And this is a violin. This is a violin. It kind of looks a little bit like a guitar, sort of, but it's much, much smaller. A violin, actually, this part of the violin sits on your shoulder like this, and then this stick, it's called a bow. So what somebody would do when they're playing a violin, they would hold the neck of the violin, this part here, they would hold it, and then this big part would sit on their shoulder, and they would take the bow, and they would strum it back and forth. Okay, so that's a violin. That's what this is, a violin. So the V makes the V sound like violin and vase and Victor. V for violin, V for violin, V. Okay, so we're working with the letter V today. And today, while we're working with the letter V, we have a brand new book. And this, here's our letter V there. This is a big, big, big bird. It's called a vulture. Now, vultures are not very nice birds usually, okay? This is called Victor the Vulture. Okay, he's a very, very large bird with a very big, sharp beak. So I'm going to read the story first, and then we'll do it with our song. Okay, Victor the Vulture. Victor the Vulture was a vicious bird. Vicious means it can mean. He drank vinegar, and he never spoke a word. Vinegar, that's a very, very sour thing. You don't want to drink that. He lived up in Vermont in his village home. And there he is up there. But he never had a visitor. He was all alone. Victor the Vulture went to the village dance. a Valentine dance. He ran into Vanessa. It was just by chance. And here's Victor, and there's Vanessa. Her violet velveteen vest made her look so fine that Victor sweetly asked her to be his Valentine. So here we have lots of things that begin with the letter V. We have Victor, and Vulture, and Vicious, Vinegar, listen for the V sound, Vermont, Village, Visitor, Valentine, Vulture, Village, Victor, Vanessa, Violet, that's color purple, it's called violet. Velveteen, that's a kind of a material, and this is her vest. It's like sort of like a jacket, but it has no sleeves. Her vest, which is the vest in here. Victor and Valentine, and all those things begin with what letter? The letter V. Okay, so are you ready to do it with our song now? All right, here we go. Turn the music on. Hang on 1 second. Here it comes.
Wow, that sure is a huge bird. That must be Victor the Vulture. Ooh, is he dangerous? No, he only looks vicious. He's really a sweetheart.
Victor the Vulture was a vicious bird. He drank vinegar and he never spoke a word. He lived up in Vermont in his village home, but he never had a visitor. He was all alone. Victor the Vulture went to the village dance. He ran into Vanessa, it was just by chance. Her velveteen vest made her look so fine that Victor sweetly asked her to be his Valentine.
My friends always give me Valentines. I wish Victor would give me one.
Ready? Victor the Vulture was a vicious bird. He drank vinegar and he never spoke a word. He lived up in Vermont in his village home, but he never had a visitor. He was all alone. Victor the Vulture went to the village dance. He ran into Vanessa, it was just by chance. Her violet velveteen vest made her look so fine that Victor sweetly asked her to be his Valentine.
Think about your favorite Valentine as you sing and read the next verse.
One more time. Victor the Vulture was a vicious bird. He drank vinegar and he never spoke a word. He lived up in Vermont in his village home, but he never had a visitor. He was all alone. Victor the Vulture went to the village dance. He ran into Vanessa, it was just by chance. Her violet velveteen vest made her look so fine that Victor sweetly asked her to be his Valentine. Okay, so we're working with what letter? The letter V. Remember, he's a vulture. So what we have here, we have our V paper. And again, we have our capital V and our lowercase v. The letter V, again, makes the V sound. So what we're going to do, there's a couple things you can do with this. You can paint it if you want, or you can color it if you want, or you can trace it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this color. Okay, remember what color that is? It's purple. Okay, and purple is also called violet, and violet begins with the letter V. So take your violet or purple crayon, or you can color it or paint it, whichever. Or if you have purple or violet dotters, you can do that as well. So today we're going to take our violet crayon and we're going to color or paint inside the letter V. So look at your paper and you're going to go all inside your lines. So stay inside your lines, look at your paper. Okay, remember you want to move your hand up and down for the long spaces. But look at your paper and you can do a really nice job. We're doing our letter V with purple or violet. Okay, so after you have your letter V colored or painted, then what we're going to do is we're going to take these pictures here. You can color them if you'd like. Okay, you can make them whatever colors you want to make them. And after you color them, then we're going to cut them out. So if you want to color in your little pictures, you can do that. And then we'll go back and we'll cut them out. Okay, so you can use whatever colors you want to use is fine. Remember, if you use a black crayon, don't press too hard on it. Okay, it's kind of hard to see if you use a black crayon and you press real hard on it. There's our vulture. So we have different things that begin with the letter V. Okay, so here we have a vest, a Valentine, a vase, vulture, van, and violin. So all those things begin with the letter V. So what we're going to do after you color your pictures, we're going to take our scissors. Okay, remember, thumb in the little hole, fingers in the big hole in the bottom, and we're going to very carefully cut on these boxes. Okay, so this is a little tricky now. So just go to a little bit past the edge and cut out each little box. You're going to cut right on the lines. Okay, and then we'll just set that on the side for a second. You're going to do all your pictures the same way. Try to stay on the lines because you don't want to chop your pictures apart. Try to stay on the lines. And we'll cut out all 6 pictures, and then we're going to glue our pictures around the letter V. Remember, when you're cutting, always remember, look at what you're doing, okay? You don't want to be looking around the room because we don't want you to cut your fingers or your clothes. We don't want you to chop your picture apart either. So always look at what you're cutting. Okay, so after you have your pictures all cut out, now we're going to take our glue stick. Remember, when you take your glue stick, just roll it up just a little tiny bit. And then we're going to put our glue on the back. Take whatever pictures you want. Okay, we're going to take our pictures and we're going to glue them all around. So these are things that begin with the letter V and make the V sound. Okay, so we're going to put some pictures all around our paper. All these things begin with the letter V. Okay. I'll go over all of these again. Remember, the letter V makes the V sound. We have our capital V and our lowercase v. And here are some things that begin with the letter V and that V sound. We have violin, vase, valentine, van, vulture, and vest. And that's the letter V. We'll be doing some more work with it the rest of the week, okay?